If you want to learn how to make Ghibli style textures in Substance Painter, the latest course from the 3D coloring book was made for you. This beginner-friendly course will show you just how easy it is to make drag and drop anime style smart materials that you can use in any project. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to consider getting the course. Now let's get into this week's video.
Hello members of Stylized Station. It's a pleasure for me to be here today with you. Okay, so today I'll be explaining things about this creature character I made days ago. Some things like mindset, some challenge I faced doing this, my software, my workflow, all like these things, you know. Okay, so we're going to start with the references. Okay, so I use Pinterest. Let's say I see something I like this, some mounts, you know, something like this. I knew I wanted to do a creature with some kind of armor, like a blizzard mount, something like that. So I searched for a lot of creatures like this, and I finally decided to do this one from Thomas Karlsson. It's a really nice concept. I like it a lot. You have his post here. Check it out because it's awesome. Okay, so once you have your reference, maybe you have just one side of the reference, so you have to do a research about the creature, what you're doing. Let's see. I did this. This is pure ref. I recommend a lot to use pure ref. You can drag images very quick, make them bigger or whatever you want. So the thing is, we don't have like a true reference of the muscles of this creature. So I look for something stylized, but at the same time reference from true nature, so you can see how it works and how they move. It's really important, this one. Okay, so the next thing I usually do is start with a high poly mesh. We can see it here. What I usually do is, what I said, starting with ZBrush. This is my workflow, but you can start doing the retopo first, if you prefer. It's personal. I think it's whatever you like. Okay, let's change it because it's horrible. Okay, so this is my high poly. So what I do is just blocking with spheres, and then I merge them to make one object. And some tips I think they're useful is these brushes, orb. Maybe you know them already, but they are so helpful for stylized assets, environments, characters. So I recommend download them. You can download them free. I think on ArtStation maybe. Don't remember. Okay. So apart from these brushes, I use move. It's just something that moves, not that important. But this is mostly for blocking for make the blocking basically. Let's say if I want to do this leg from here. So what I do is manipulate the sphere. For this I usually use the mouse. I think it's not important to use the tablet or the Wacom or something. I prefer to use the mouse for these things. Let's say like this. Then you duplicate it. Okay, so just like that, you're making like the bones, the muscles with spheres, basically. That's what I do. What I usually do to get this mesh. So once this one it's done, I do the retopo. You can do it on Max, on 3ds Max, Maya. I personally recommend Maya because I think it's really easy to use the high poly mesh while you're doing the retopo. Also, you can test Topogan. It's really nice for retopology. It doesn't lag. For me, it works fine, and my PC it's really normal. It's nothing special. So if you're having issues with a really high poly or something like that, you can use Topogan. For this, I use Topogan and 3ds Max. The two. Maybe for change some things. I'm really new with Topogan, so I use Max for things I didn't know to do on Topogan. Okay. Once we have this, I unwrap it. I unwrap it normally on 3ds Max too. Really easy too. Okay. It's not my favorite part, but you have to do it. For this character, this is some challenge I had for this creature because you have the base mesh, then this armor, and then this another one. So what I did is a UV map for the giraffe, and then another one for this armor. And as you can see, there are some things from this armor that are in this one. So the only things unwrapped in a third UV map are the ones that are not here. I don't know if you understood me, but let's say this have one unwrap, and this it's unwrapped in another UV map, and this, I mean the rest, like the skull, these horns, the helmet, the chains, all these things are wrapped in another one. So you can have like more quality on the image, because you aren't merging everything and lose quality. So I think it was necessary. Maybe in a production, if this character is not that important, I mean this could be a mount from WoW. So maybe if it's not that important, you can merge all these UVs in one with a lower resolution, but you are not going to see the loss of quality on the game. But I wanted to do like this wasn't for a production, so I wanted to give the most detailed version, so there's no problem in having 3 UV maps. Okay, next thing we have is the texturing. For the textures I used okay, so for the textures I used Substance Painter. Okay, I use Substance Painter. I think it's easy to use it. Gives really nice results with the smart materials, the masks, and all these things. But I think you need like a really nice high poly to make it work. So it's really important to detail on ZBrush. Okay. So for this one, I didn't use like some kind of smart material. It's just a base color with his ambient occlusion, a bit of the curvature map to make more visible the effort, and these basically are just some masks with colors with a blur. Not a big deal, but it gives a really nice texture. This is not that hard. I think the hardest part maybe, and it's not that hard, I think it's the armor. Let's open the armor for a bit. Sorry, give me a second. Sorry, my PC is low. Okay, this can give some issues or something because I did it with another version of Substance Painter, so maybe look at this. This don't know what happened. Maybe because it was another version. Okay, so let's see this. I had to do it in, you see, it's not the full armor here. It's because my PC was too slow to have a lot of materials. I like to divide in materials. This maybe I like to do this because if you bake it at once, gives like some issues on the maps that you have to fix on Photoshop. So if you can avoid that, so why not? The problem with this is maybe if you're on a production, you have to merge all these maps. That's the only problem, but I think it's worth it. Yes. Because let's say you're in your render program or something, and you have only one material for everything. Let's say I want to do these parts, I want to do them more shiny or something. So you can, because they are divided on different materials. So okay, let's see what I did here. I like to use one smart material called Bone Stylized. It's really easy. It fills with a base color with a bit of roughness, nothing impressive or something, and then I put some mask. You can see here mask. It's like some dirt. This is the dirt, and these are the edges. The edges gives a really nice stylized look. The dirt is maybe a bit realistic, just a bit, but I like it for my models, for my stylized models, so it helps. And then I put some edges. These are called smart masks. You have rust, dust, dirty edges. You have a lot of masks that are really useful. So try everything you can. The thing is, you try things, try all the masks and like manipulate the values of over here. You can put more grunge or the scale of it, or ambient occlusion masking. You have to play with these values. Okay, this is my ambient occlusion. I always like to burn the ambient occlusion on the albedo base color. Don't know, gives a really nice look. So okay, let's see this one. And yes, I don't want to make this too long, So I won't show everything. Maybe if I do another part, I can explain layer by layer what I did, or but for now I want to do like a more quick breakdown to explain. And okay, so what we have here is a leather stylized. This is another material, really nice material that we have on the shelf. I have the shelf height so you can see it, but whatever, if you want to see the shelf, you can just window, toolbars, shelf, and you have it here. Smart materials, you have a lot. Even in Substance Painter you have, I mean the website, you have more materials. You can do your own custom materials. So just give a try to everything. Smart masks, you have, as I said before, dirt, dust dirty, dust occlusion, edges blur, edges strong. You have a lot of them. Sorry. Okay, so this, let's see from the beginning. It starts with a base color, then this is I added for myself. This is just like a darker color of this. This is a base noise that makes like more variations, basically. I think this is a darker touch. This use the curvature map, but also it puts some clouds, something like that, some clouds to the material, and make it more variable. This is using the curvature map, as you can see. AO cavity, AO basically, and I added this to make like these lines like deeper, and then a blur. So, you know, putting a blur makes them more natural. Even you can play with the opacity to make them. Okay, so, and this one is the same basically, but it's are these things, these stitches, so it's the same basically, with another base color, obviously. Okay, give me a second, I will open, let's see. Where are you? Okay, so for my render, as you can see here, I used Marmoset Toolbag. I think it's really nice, this program. I mean, it gives a really nice look by just putting some lights and the post-processing of the scene. Give me a second because it's really slow. So maybe if you don't want to use Unreal because it's like much harder or something like that, or maybe Array, I recommend Marmoset for beginners. Also, you have the Marmoset viewer if you want to put it on ArtStation. I don't have it here. I don't know why. Let's see. Okay. So here I have my giraffe. As you can see, I have a lot of things here. Here are my lights. I recommend to use always, not always, but most of the time, I recommend to use a cold light like this, a blue, some blue, some kind of blue, and a warm light, some orange or some color, some warm color, to have more information. And then whatever you want, if you want to be more a more cold image or something, it depends of you, it's your taste. So okay, so here I have, let me hide this. This is a turntable for someone. If it's an object that allows the model to spin, to see it. It's an animation, really nice, really easy. Okay, so we hide it, and I show you giraffe. Okay, you see the hair is a bit weird, but this is prepared for the epic rains. Maybe if you want to see this only the standard rains, you do this. Here standard rains, you have it. And you if you want to see only the giraffe without armor, here you have it. So here I have a lot of materials, as you can see. I don't know where is this. I don't need them, so get out, please. So the giraffe, what I was saying, if you do it, maybe in a production you can't have a lot of materials for this character. Maybe this character isn't that important, so you can't have a lot of materials. So but this isn't a production, so I can do this for make it more with a more quality model, just for view it. So let's say maybe I can, if I do this, I can just manipulate one material and not the whole model. So let me, where is it? Here it is. Okay, sorry. So imagine we want to make like the eye more shiny or less shiny or whatever you want. So you can manipulate only the eye. Okay. So I have for the giraffe the eye, the body, the hair. This one doesn't, I don't need this. The hair, the hooves, and the horns. Okay, so these are for the giraffe itself. So now standard reins, and we hide this one and show this one. Okay. Standard reins. I tried to divide on groups so you can see it. Everything has like his group. And then the epic reigns. Let's see. Okay. We have this. Even these four. Whoops, these aren't the. Okay, now it's okay. Sorry. Horns, everything, just groups. And let's say I want to make this leather more glossy or less. It's really nice for just a render, but if you, as I said before, if you are in a production or something, you have to merge all these materials. So maybe you can just make them with a lower resolution for a production or whatever, and maybe even this four and this hair, if it was a production, you simply could do this with an alpha map, just some opacity map or something with a plane. But I wanted to make like some spiky hair or something like that. I'm really happy with the hair, so okay. So this is basically my mindset, the software I used. So I want to say again what things were harder for this, because I think it's my first time doing some mount creature with armor. It's really interesting always doing some creature with some clothes. It is like you can make a nice color. Yeah, you feel me? I mean, you can like merge a lot of colors because it has the cloth. So my challenge for this, the most challenge things I had with this, I think, are the UVs. Making 3 UV maps, I never did that before. It was interesting, really interesting to do. some, and the hair, what I said before, the hair was kind of hard because I didn't want to make just a plane with. It's the normal thing to do, but I wanted to do it like physical hair, not just a plane. This as I said before, if it's a production, like you're seeing the giraffe maybe at this distance, so you can use a plane. You won't notice it's a plane. So, whoops, where it is here. But because this was a model that I wanted to you look very close, I did it the fur and the hair physical. Well, then I think it's everything. Thank you so much for seeing this breakdown tutorial video. Sorry. Okay, so this is everything I had to say. As I said again, thank you for watching this. Goodbye.